Hey there. So, look, I've been posting reels, videos, TikToks, YouTubes all week long about triggers, trauma, generational healing. And I wanted to go deeper today because some of you guys have been saving the reels, saving the posts, saving the YouTube videos, but you still haven't started your healing journey. You're not crazy. You're not dramatic. You're triggered, and there's a reason. So I need you to lean all the way in. And let's tap into this information on today. If you guys are tuning in, my name is Cheryl Mazik, you guys, and I am the CEO and creator of Ladies of Faith Over Fear, which is a community, a sisterhood, an organization that help women to heal from trauma from the inside out with workbooks, online courses, events, and amazing community and health and wellness products. Okay. And so I want to talk about one of the reels that I did this week. It was called Triggers Aren't Overreactions, They're Unhealed Memories Asking for Attention. So let's break that down. So, what does that mean? Like when you're triggered by something, your nervous system remembers something that happened, and it could be the slightest thing, right? It could have been maybe you were touched as a child, right? And the person that touched you, they could have said a certain thing. You hear that phrase not from that person, but from somebody else, and has nothing to do with they don't even know that it has anything to do with what somebody said to you in the time of you being molested, and you're triggered because your nervous system still remember that, and it takes you back to that place, right? And most of the time when people are in a place of experiencing trauma from sexual abuse, molestation, they do have control issues. They want to be in control because they didn't have the ability to be in control in that moment, right? And so your nervous system remembers. Trauma lives in our body. Did you know that? Right? If you knew that, put it in the comments. Trauma lives in your body, and it can live in your body as a sickness, as pain, because you haven't dealt with the trauma. A lot of times we suppress instead of doing the work, and it lives in our bodies. Have you wondered why so many people have heart attacks? Yes, it could be attributed to their lifestyle, to the things that they eat, but sometimes people have heart attacks because of unhealed trauma. Okay. And another thing that triggers, that comes with triggers, is um, suppression. Suppression creates patterns. A lot of times when we suppress things, something happened, right? If you're triggered, you go and do that thing that you normally do when you are triggered. It could be like you could be an emotional eater, right? And you've been triggered, you go to the refrigerator to go get some ice cream, or you go to the refrigerator to go fix you a bowl of milk and cereal, right? Because you are triggered, and you've created a pattern of, when you are hurt, this is how I'm going to fix that hurt to make me feel good. Okay. And overreaction is just protection. You are protecting yourself because you're taken back to that moment when something happened to you. All right. So I want you guys to understand that triggers are real, and you will understand those things and learn about those things when you really take the time to do some healing work. Okay. And so it was another thing that I shared about one of my students, right? She's in her 60s. I shared a reel this week about one of my students. She came into my coaching program about 6 months ago. And she was just like, I'm reaching out to you because I don't know what else to do. I don't know who else to reach out to. I'm frustrated. I'm just at a place where I don't know what to do. Right. And we had to pull back some layers to understand that there was some healing that needed to be done. Right. There was a lot of healing that needed to take place. One of the things as I work with my clients, because I have quite a few clients that are in the 60 plus club, like 60s in their 70s. Okay. And so, in a time when they grew up, they didn't have the space that we have now, right? To heal from the different things that affected their life. They just had to shut up about that thing and keep moving forward. They didn't have that opportunity to talk about it. And so I'm so thankful that healing does not have an expiration date, because they really get a chance to take the time, right, to push through the chaos, but take the time to not only push through the chaos, but learn some new things to heal from the things that they've had to suppress. Okay. I always like to think back to my mom, right? So if you've been following me, or if you're new to the broadcast or my platform, my mom transitioned and she passed away in 2021. Okay. And so I just always like to think about some of the things that I may have seen her do. And I didn't really see her do anything to take care of her mental that was healthy. Okay. And so she did things like she smoked cigarettes, or she may have drank beer, right? And those were her things that she liked to do to help her calm her nerves. Okay. And I'm not talking about my mom in any negative light. I love my mom. She was an amazing person, right? But I'm just analyzing not just things that she do, but so many women across the world have done, and using those things as things to say that it is something to calm them, to suppress, right? The things that they don't want to deal with. All right. And those things eventually hurt her body because they wasn't good for her. Right. So she didn't deal with the pains and the traumas that she experienced over life. She suppressed them. Okay. And the things that she used that were things that she liked, the way made her body felt, overall in turn took her out, because she passed away at an earlier age than she had desired. Okay. And so people in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, I'm so proud of them for taking that leap of faith, right? Making a decision to say that, you know, I'm not going to stay stuck in trauma. It stops with me, right? And start to do the generational healing that's needed. Because guess what? As a grandmother, if you see your grandmother doing some healing work, right? You're like, okay, grandma, I notice a difference in you. Okay. And grandmothers can be all ages, right? Because I'm a grandmother and I'm 43 years old. Okay. And they see the change. Your children see the change. Your spouse see the change. And it starts to move along the generation. Because when you start to be on fire about loving yourself, about serving yourself, and not in a selfish manner. Because this is the thing, you guys, you can't serve anybody that you're called to serve if you're not good on the inside, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Okay. And so you have to understand that you have to take care of you first so that you can give from a full cup and not an empty cup, because you can't give from an empty cup. Nothing's there to give, right? You can only give from overflow. And so learning that you got to take care of you, and taking care of you, it requires for you to heal. Because guess what? You got to stop the generations of trauma, stop the generations of suppressing, and do something different in order to get different results. And so I love that for my client, because she was able to do that. And not only that, she also has invested in her daughters, purchasing them healing tools and healing techniques, right? Well, not techniques, but the tools, like my workbook or my digital course, to help them start the process, right? Because this is the thing, you can't make people do the work. You can't make people change. The only person that you can change or make change is self, right? And so um, she's able to give that to them as a gift. A gift of healing is like no other gift. Okay. And so I talked about my client over this week on one of the reels, because I've seen her business grow. I've seen her mindset stretch, and I've seen her just go from being in that broken place when she first reached out 6 months ago to a place of being able to maneuver and do things a little different. And guess what? Life is still lifing for her, but she's learned how to do it in a different manner. Okay. So know that trauma, healing from trauma, there's no expiration date in that. You can start at any given moment to heal from the things that hurt you, from the things that was designed to stop you from operating in your greatness and operating in your purpose. Okay. So, who is this for? What I'm talking about, right? Healing. Who is this for, right? I help women that are in the 40 plus club. If you're younger than 40, great. You can tap in as well. But that's mostly who my audience is, women in the 40 plus club, women that are caregivers. That can be your mothers, your grandmothers, your wives, your sisters, your aunties, whoever is caring for somebody else. Women who have survived but never processed. Okay, that's women that has went through some things, right, and never processed it, went through the different type of traumas. I always talk about teen pregnancy because that, guess what, that was me, and that was a big trauma that I didn't even really take to evaluate until I really got into like my 40s. Okay, things that happened 27 years ago, processing it now. It could be somebody that has went through a separation or a divorce. They went through it, but they hadn't processed it. They could have survived abuse, right? Mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. And when I say spiritual abuse, that could be church hurt and never dealt with the healing aspect of it, okay? And so all of my healing, you guys, we are biblical based. So I come from scripture, from the word of God. When I say we are going to use the word as a tool, the Bible as a tool, okay? This is also for women that are building businesses but are emotionally exhausted. Have you built your business or have you been in business, right? And you just can't seem to go to that next level. It's probably because you need to heal from something. What I have experienced is most people that have not really taken the time to process things that they've experienced over life that has really made a negative impact in their life, that thing always come back to hunt them until they do the work. And so you'll be able to have success in business, right? If you haven't taken the time to heal from trauma, but you will not be able to see the fullness of the success that you desire until you really do the healing work. Because guess what? Something can happen in an interaction with you and a client or a particular or a potential client, and you're triggered and it goes left when you could be triggered and you know how to handle that, and you can still secure the client if you have done the work and know what to do if something like that happened. So women in business really need to heal. Okay, so you can build a business and still be bleeding internally. All right, and so that's why I created this product that I'm going to share with you guys. And it's called the 3 Day Trauma Reset. Okay. And so inside of the 3 Day Trauma Reset it's a digital course that's going to help you, one, identify the root of the issue, which is all about awareness. Okay. And so being aware, when you become aware, you can be a force to reckon with, right? When you become aware, okay? Day two is all about releasing and processing in a safe way, right? Teaching you how to properly release those things. Because when you're trying to release something when it comes to trauma, it's not like you blasting people out on social media. It's not like you calling up somebody's spouse like your spouse did this to me when I was a kid, or he did this or she did this, right? It's none of that, but giving you real tools to help you release those things that you have been holding on to for years. Okay. Day three is all about reframing and resetting, building new patterns. Okay. And I want to make sure that this is very clear. This is not therapy, it's structure, it's guided emotional reset rooted in faith and practical healing tools, which is the Bible. Okay. And other tools that I'm going to share with you as well. All right. So if you've been watching my reels, saving the reels, saving the posts, feeling seen, right? That's not by accident. That's conviction. I want you to take the time to click the link in the bio or click the link in the comments and purchase the 3-day trauma reset digital course. Do it for you. If you've never brought yourself anything that has changed your life, right? And that has given you an opportunity to see newness in your life, this is something that you can purchase to help you go to that next level. You know, a lot of times people don't purchase things because they don't see the value in the thing that they're purchasing. But this is the thing, you are valuable, you are worthy. And just like you make a decision to spend $50 on food or $50 on a purse or hair, what value are you getting out of that? The thing that you're spending that money on, is it bringing you life back? Is it bringing you healing? Is it bringing you a mindset of newness? All right. So I just really want you to ask yourself that. Okay. And if you're not ready to purchase yet, at least subscribe, because you're going to go deeper on this channel if you continue to deep dive into the information that I have on my channel. You know, I want you guys to understand that healing does not expire. It's not a certain time when you can and can't heal. But this is the thing, tomorrow is not promised. It's not. And know that brokenness is not your inheritance, healing is. And know that it's not too late for you. It's not too late. So it's not by circumstance, it's not by chance that you've come across this video or you've been seeing my reels and you've started to um, engage, right? So look, yeah, I'm just a mommy that is trying my hardest to operate my greatness and purpose. And sometimes I overtalk myself, but I'm going to still keep going and I'm going to keep this in the video because I want you guys to see that I'm live, I'm real, I'm authentic, and I am just doing what God has called me to do. And guess what? I can't help you guys heal if I hadn't had to heal from some things. I've had to overcome a lot of things, which I will talk about in the course. You know, just to give you a few. What? Teenage pregnancy. I told you guys that earlier. I had mommy issues. I had daddy issues, y'all. I had issues, okay? And I still deal with things today, but I know how to deal with them in a healthy manner. And I want to teach you how to do that as well. So if you've been looking for a way to come out of the place where you may be stuck, you may feel like, look, I know it's more. I just don't know how to tap into the more. You may be in a place where I'm tired of going back to that place of the childhood trauma. I'm tired of going back to that place of negativity. I want something new. I want something different. Then click the link and purchase the 3-day trauma reset intensive digital course. And I promise you, it'll be one of the best investments that you've ever made in your life. Okay. So if this video inspired you in any way, shape, form, or fashion, make sure you put a 1 in the comments. Make sure you share this with somebody that it may help impact their life just by watching a video. And it could be just to listen to the content of the video. Okay. And remember, you are born for greatness. Today is a great day to let your faith override your fear. Start to operate in your greatness and operate in your purpose and heal so that you can truly soar in that thing that God has called you to do. Know that the trauma that you have experienced, it's not all about you, but it's about those that you are called to. Everything that I experienced, it wasn't about me, but it was about you, to help you do the healing work. All right. So that's all I got for you. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel and come back for the next video that I drop. And make sure you put your alerts on so you know when we drop a video or when we go live. So thank you so much again and have an amazing day, night, or wherever you are in the world on purpose. And I'll talk to you guys on the next video.